Big, beautiful wall. I've gotten to know the leaders of many countries. And I won't mention names, but you know the countries I'm talking about. I go around, how's your drug problem? We don't have much of a drug problem. We have zero tolerance for drug dealers. I said, what does that mean? That means we have the death penalty for drug dealers. Take a look at some of these countries.
Okay, let's take a look at some of these countries. These are the drug dealer death penalty countries that President Trump feels America should take its cues from. Not a lot of first world countries there. Well, let's take China, for example, because apparently they're telling Trump they have no drug problem. Unfortunately, they're telling everyone else that China's drug problem is severe and growing. Well, let's see more of those countries then. Once again, not the most advanced places. Well, I guess there's Singapore, South Korea, and the United States. Yes, as it turns out, the federal drug kingpin law was passed in 1988, and it imposes a potential death sentence for murder for large-scale illegal drug dealing. Looks like we're going back to the 80s. Dude! Look, the thing is, the government's never actually used that law to execute anyone for solely drug dealing. Why? Partly because a lot of people think it'd be unconstitutional. You see, in 2008, the Supreme Court ruled that the use of the death penalty should be reserved for crimes that directly take the life of the victim. In fact, in that case there, they even rejected the death penalty for child rape. So it'd be hard to justify punishing drug dealers harsher than child rapists. But it's not like the drug dealers are getting off lightly.
Think of it.
Okay.
You kill 5,000 people with drugs because you're smuggling them in and you're making a lot of money and people are dying and they don't even put you in jail. They don't do anything. But you might get 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. You might get a year.
You might get the mandatory minimum sentence for trafficking a kilo of heroin, which is 10 years jail. 72% of convictions in 2016 carried a mandatory minimum sentence, and 52% of those mandatory minimum sentences were 10 years. And that is one of many reasons why people in jail for drug offences exploded through the 80s and 90s. So America, they did try it Trump's way. They got tough. They spent loads of money in the war on drugs, and you'll never guess what happened to the price of heroin during the exact same period. Boo! It dropped by nearly tenfold. So the drug dealer death penalty, it's probably not going to happen. And getting tough on drugs didn't really work anyway. But at least cheap drugs did allow people to cope with dancing like a doofus. Yeah!
Big, beautiful wall.